Okay. Hi, everyone. Let some people trickle in here a little bit. Okay, let's get started. So, what if you could own a piece of the breakthrough technologies that will reshape entire industries over the next 2 decades? You're going to discover today how 10 game-changing deep tech companies are solving humanity's most complex challenges, from micro-robots delivering precision cancer treatments to quantum computers revolutionizing AI. These aren't incremental improvements, these are paradigm shifts built on revolutionary scientific discoveries. Alumni Ventures has made investing in this explosive, this is a real number, $425 billion deep tech market accessible to individual investors. We're showcasing technologies so advanced, they seemed like science fiction just years ago. And now they're becoming the foundation of trillion-dollar industries. So be part of the most transformative technological revolution since the internet, with the potential for extraordinary returns. Scan any of the QR codes that you see on your screen today and join us and begin seeing startup deals in this groundbreaking sector. Now, we're going to hop this over to Matt Kaspari to bring this future to light.
Welcome, everyone. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us. I'm Matt Kaspari, and I'm a managing partner at Alumni Ventures and a leader of our Deep Tech Fund. Before we move into the presentation, I'm going to start by reading a few legal disclosures. We're speaking today about the Deep Tech Fund, our parent company, Alumni Ventures, and our views of the venture capital landscape. This presentation is for informational purposes only and is not an offer to buy or sell securities, which are only made pursuant to the formal offering documents for the fund. Please review important disclosures in the materials provided for the webinar, which you can access at av-funds.com/disclosures. And a few quick housekeeping items. You will not be on camera, and you'll be muted throughout the entire presentation. If you have questions as we go, I encourage you to enter them into the chat. And at the end of the webinar, I'll answer some questions. If we don't get to yours, we will follow up with you afterwards. So I come to Alumni Ventures having been a 2-time founder CEO, including starting Aurora Biofuels, a deep tech company in the energy sector. Aurora raised over $100 million in capital and grew to over 100 employees before being acquired by Reliance Industries, a Fortune 100 conglomerate out of India. As an investor, I focus on mission-driven founders working on frontier technologies. My investments have spanned many different sectors, including AI, biotechnology, defense, energy generation, longevity, robotics, and space. I studied biochemistry at Georgetown and have an MBA from UC Berkeley. So I mentioned briefly that the Deep Tech Fund is part of Alumni Ventures, which is a huge benefit. So Alumni Ventures was founded in 2014 to democratize access to venture capital. We offer individuals the opportunity to own venture capital portfolios. Our firm has raised $1.4 billion from over 11,000 individuals, making us the largest domestic venture firm for individuals. We've been recognized by PitchBook as one of the most active venture firms globally and have invested into over 1,600 current and historical portfolio company investments. We have about 120 employees, and we have offices in Menlo Park, where I'm based, also in New York, Boston, Chicago, and New Hampshire. So before we dive into the heart of today's presentation, I'd like to pause here for a minute. We'd love if you could take this minute to fill out this short survey. You can scan the QR code here or go to av.vc/survey. And for community members who are interested in scheduling a call to learn more about investing with Alumni Ventures, as a thank you, we'd like to offer you a gift. If you connect with our team for a quick one-on-one call, you'll receive a $100 store credit toward Alumni Ventures gear. You can have cool shirts like the one here. So let's move on to the presentation. I'll start at a high level with what is deep tech. Let's start by defining this. When we talk about deep tech, we really are in the realm of highly innovative technologies. These are not just incremental improvements, but we're talking about groundbreaking advancements in fields like artificial intelligence, biotechnology, robotics, and advanced materials. These are companies operating at the frontier of scientific and engineering breakthroughs, and they have the potential to shape the future. There can be a high level of risk due to the technical complexity and nascent stage of many of these ventures. But with this risk comes the potential for extraordinary rewards, both financial and in terms of societal impact. NVIDIA, the most valuable company in the world with a market cap of over $4 trillion, is a great example I like to highlight of a deep tech company. So why deep tech matters? These companies are solving problems once thought insurmountable, and they're reinventing industries. SpaceX is a great example. It's dramatically lowered the cost to get material into space, which has led to a boom in space-related startups. Deep tech is now an established sector of venture capital, with about 20% of venture capital dollars going into deep tech, and that's growing. The opportunity really is vast, with revenue streams from deep tech solutions estimated at well over $100 billion today and forecasted to grow to over $400 billion over the next decade. Finally, I like to point out that there's data showing that 25% of unicorns, meaning startups valued at over $1 billion, are deep tech companies. I also believe we'll see that increase as time goes on. So we're really excited to share our Apex list of top deep tech companies. These are game-changing companies that are operating at the frontier of deep tech. These are either current or historical investments that Alumni Ventures has made, and they represent some of the names that we're most excited about right now. We selected these companies for their innovative impact, outstanding performance, and future upside potential. We'll go through each of these one by one, and I'll highlight some more details on them. So we'll get started with Arta Therapeutics. So Arta is developing a breakthrough treatment for chronic disease. The problem is that harmful cells are the root cause of many human diseases. Today, these diseases either have no treatment or we use drugs that do not specifically target the harmful cells, resulting in suboptimal outcomes and side effects. Arta Therapeutics is leveraging recent breakthroughs in single-cell analysis technologies to transform disease treatment by precisely identifying and killing only the harmful cells. Targeting these individual cells is safer, more efficient, lower cost, and faster. They've built a unique and novel discovery engine to determine which cells are harmful and to then develop drugs to specifically eliminate them. The company utilizes proprietary machine learning methods to identify harmful cells from single-cell data and leverages these deep biological insights to create the drugs that target the surface of these cells. We were excited to invest in the company's $43 million Series A in late 2024. That was a round that was led by Andreessen Horowitz, and there's other great investors on the cap table, including Google Ventures, Eli Lilly, Two Sigma Ventures, and more. Next company that's on our list is Ascend Elements. It's a leading provider of domestic critical minerals and engineered battery materials for the lithium-ion battery industry. Their technology uses advanced hydro and direct recycling processes to break down used cathode material to the atomic level, effectively producing new materials for batteries. This innovation addresses one of the key challenges of the EV market, creating a sustainable and cost-effective supply chain for battery materials. In 2022, Alumni Ventures made its first investment into the company. And since our investment, they've made significant advancements, including expanding their processing capabilities and securing strategic partnerships to support their growth. In 2024, the company announced that they had raised over $700 million in capital over the past 12 months. As we look forward, we see accelerating demand for domestic battery supply chain, making Extend Elements an exciting growth story to watch. The next one on our list is Axiom Space. Axiom is building the world's first commercial space station, which will serve as a cornerstone for sustained human presence in space. Today, Axiom Space is the principal provider of commercial human spaceflight services to the International Space Station, and they're also a developer of advanced spacesuits for the Moon and low Earth orbit. We originally invested in the company's Series B back in 2021 and also continue to participate as they've raised additional growth capital. Some of the co-investors that we've invested alongside include Prime Movers Lab and C5 Capital. If you're interested in learning more about the space sector, I really recommend checking out the website where you can learn more about the company's completed missions. Just last month in July, they completed mission 4, which had an 18-day duration in space. Next one I'll move on to is IR Labs, developer of optical interconnects to accelerate data movement within complex AI large language models, and they do this at scale. They address compute and bandwidth bottlenecks of today's processors by replacing traditional copper wire with light waves. This is a much more energy efficient process, and they don't require the cooling that's needed for copper wires. This enables their customers to improve cost and power consumption and to maximize performance of AI workloads. We made our initial investment in the company back in 2020, participating in their Series B round. They've made great progress since then, announcing a $130 million Series C in 2022, and then a $155 million Series D at the end of 2024. With that announcement, they revealed that their valuation had exceeded $1 billion. Investors in the company include Advent, Light Street Capital, Lockheed Martin, 3M Ventures, Applied Ventures, and more. The next one on our list is Bionaut Labs. So Bionaut has developed a revolutionary microrobotic platform designed for therapeutic and interventional applications in the central nervous system. Utilizing a remotely controlled device that's the size of a grain of rice, it facilitates minimally invasive procedures in intricate areas of the body and brain. Diseases of the central nervous system are exceedingly difficult to treat given their proximity to vital tissue, as well as the need for treatments to cross the blood-brain barrier, the critical protective shield that controls what substances can enter the brain from the bloodstream. The Bionaut nanobot resolves that issue by safely crossing the blood-brain barrier in order to deliver therapeutic payloads and release them in precise locations. We invested in the company in 2024 in a round led by Khosla Ventures. The next one on our list is Frore Systems, which they've developed thermal technology for consumer devices that double heat dissipation with half the volume, thickness, and weight of current solutions. This can improve processor performance by 2x. Their air-jet devices cool chips by moving air over them at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. We initially backed the company in 2020, and they've since announced a Series B in 2021, and then a 90 million Series C just last year, led by Fidelity. Some other great investors on the cap table include Mayfield and Addition. The next one is in the robotics sector. So Ghost Robotics manufactures legged robotics for military, industrial, mining, energy, and last mile delivery applications. So the company's robots can operate on unstructured terrain and in rough environments, and they're able to reduce mechanical complexity and cost. Legged robots are exceptionally challenging technical problems to solve, which is precisely why there's only a handful of companies attempting this around the world. And this team in particular had very deep expertise. So you have a repeat CEO coming together with PhDs on the team and a great group of investors, and they made rapid progress. So we originally invested in their seed round when the company was at a very early stage in 2021. And then they announced in the middle of 2024 that a South Korean defense company had acquired a 60% controlling stake in the company for $240 million, valuing the company at $400 million. So amazing progress and nice to get some liquidity back on that seed investment in a relatively short period of time. The next one I'll talk about is Groq. If you follow venture-backed companies, you probably heard of Groq. They've had a tremendous amount of press and excitement around them over the last year or so. So what Groq is up to is they are redefining semiconductor performance with their innovative language processing unit, or LPU, which is designed specifically to meet the needs of AI inference tasks, as opposed to NVIDIA's GPUs that are used primarily for training models. Groq's LPUs deliver inference results much faster and at significantly lower cost and power consumption than traditional GPUs, which simplifies large-scale AI deployment. The company has partnered with major cloud, healthcare, and autonomous technology firms. Our initial investment into Groq was when we participated in their 300 million Series C round, led by Tiger Global. We made that investment back in early 2021. This was well before the launch of ChatGPT in late 2022 and the massive AI boom we've seen since. It's been really exciting to see Groq's growth over the last few years. Earlier this year, they announced a $1.5 billion commitment from Saudi Arabia to expand their advanced artificial chips. And just last month, there were news reports coming out that Groq is speaking with investors about raising an additional $300 to $500 million at a $6 billion valuation. Key investors that we've invested alongside in these rounds include BlackRock and Tiger Global. The next one we're going to talk about, another exciting one in the healthcare space, is Precision Neuroscience, which is a developer of brain-computer interface technologies designed to provide effective treatments for patients suffering from neurological illness. The company's technology is designed to be minimally invasive, safely removable, and capable of processing large amounts of data, enabling medical professionals to directly connect the human brain with artificial intelligence. And we like to note that interestingly, the company was founded by one of the Neuralink co-founders. And we made our investment in their Series C round alongside B Capital Group and Draper Associates. The next one is in the quantum computing space. So Rigetti is a full stack quantum computing company. They design, manufacture, and operate superconducting quantum processors and provide cloud-based quantum computing services. By developing both the hardware, meaning the quantum chips, and the software needed to operate and program them, Rigetti aims to create practical quantum computing solutions that can solve complex problems in fields such as drug discovery, material science, and finance. They integrate quantum processors with classical computing infrastructure to offer a hybrid approach, enabling researchers, developers, and businesses to explore and leverage quantum algorithms for real-world applications. We invested in the company alongside Bessemer's David Cowan, who's on the Forbes Midas list of top venture capital investors. And our first investment was back in 2017. We since made additional investments in 2020 and in 2022. Rigetti went public through a SPAC in 2022 and initially faced challenges as a public company. They were able to rebound in 2024. They announced a sale of stock that raised $100 million. And there were also some significant technological breakthroughs in the quantum computing space. This enabled the company to stabilize operations, meet important technical milestones, and renew investor confidence. With our lockup period completed and the area gaining a strong analyst following, we successfully exited our position, generating significant returns for our investors. So to wrap up, if you're interested in learning more about joining the Deep Tech Fund, we'd love to speak with you. I'd really suggest scheduling a call with our team. They'd be happy to speak with you directly and answer any questions you may have. Or if you prefer to go down the self-service route, you can follow the QR code here or get onto our website, learn more, get access to our fund materials, and move forward with joining. Finally, we've had some great questions come through during the presentation. We don't have a lot of time, so I'll maybe try and hit 2 or 3 quickly now. If I didn't cover your specific question, we will circle back with you directly. So just give me a minute here. I'll look through these questions and I'll try and find 2 or 3 that I think the audience will be interested in. Yeah, good question. We had someone ask, I'm interested in investing, but not sure if I want to pick my own investments or join the Deep Tech Fund. That's a great question. So when you invest in the Deep Tech Fund, we build you a diversified portfolio, meaning we're going to invest across different stages and sectors and build that portfolio. I think it's important to have a portfolio approach when you're investing in venture-backed startups. Another benefit as a fund investor, we are going to share some individual deals with you. We call these syndicate investments. These will be investments where we've completed our due diligence process, the fund is investing, and we have the opportunity to share some of these with our investor base. You can review the due diligence materials yourself, which is a huge benefit. If you like what you see and you want to get more exposure to that specific company, you can choose to invest. So again, as a deep tech fund investor, you'll also see syndicate opportunities. The other option you have is to just join the syndicate. There's no cost in doing that. If you're accredited investor and go through the sign-up process, we will share some investment opportunities with you. So I think that's a really interesting way to learn more about the companies we're investing in. You can read our due diligence memos and decide if you want to invest. If you go down that path, I would just encourage you to have a plan to build a portfolio. Again, most of our funds at Alumni Ventures tend to have 20 to 30 investments per fund. That creates some nice diversification. You're getting enough companies in there to really give you the opportunity to get into, call it an outlier company. We often see in venture that a few of the investments we make really drive returns. So if you do want to build your own portfolio, that's great. We can definitely help you do that. But I would just suggest having a plan to invest in a certain number of companies, probably over several years, to really build that portfolio. But great question. The next one I'll cover. Yeah, am I able to invest through my retirement account? For sure. Last time I asked, I think it was something like a quarter or a third of our investors were investing through retirement accounts. So that is very common. I think that's often a great fit for people. Venture capital is an illiquid asset class. It also can take time for these investments to mature. So I encourage people to think about venture as a percentage of your long-term patient capital. If you've got investment advisors or other people you work with, I definitely encourage speaking with them. I am not one. But I do think for a lot of people, it can make sense as part of a retirement account. Again, we have over 11,000 investors in our funds across Alumni Ventures. So we've got a lot of experience helping people get the dollars from retirement accounts into the venture funds. Again, we'd be really happy to speak with you about that. And I would encourage you to, again, book a call with our team, and they can walk you through the details of how the logistics work. But yes, you can invest through a retirement account. Yeah, this is an interesting question. I'll probably wrap up on this one. So the question is, how do you compete for allocations when, Sequoia or Andreessen Horowitz also want to invest in these companies and want large positions in the best deep tech deals? So I'd say a core part of our strategy at Alumni Ventures is that we are a co-investor. We do not lead rounds. We're investing in rounds that are led by other firms. Andreessen is one of the firms that we've invested most often with. When I last looked at the data, we had made over 50 investments in companies alongside Andreessen. Also been very active with Sequoia. I think it was over 24. So we're not competing with those lead investors. Importantly, we see ourselves as very synergistic with them. What we often see is that if someone's coming in leading a Series A or Series B round, the lead investor is often putting something like 50% of the capital into that round. There's some space usually for some existing investors to come in into that new round, and then often space to bring in some new investors. So at Alumni Ventures, we're really bringing a massive network to the table. That's our value add. We're very founder friendly. We're very lead investor friendly, and there's lots of ways that we enable companies to tap into our network and our scale to extract value to help them build their businesses. So again, we really don't see ourselves as competing. We're flexible. We're easy to work with. At this point, we've made dozens and dozens of investments with these types of firms. So that's really how we're able to access the companies we're able to access. And I'll probably wrap up there, but I think the 10 we ran through today are really good examples of what we've been able to do, leveraging our network and our scale to get into some great deep tech companies. So again, thank you. We really do appreciate the interest and look forward to working together. Take care.
Amazing. Thank you, Matt. This isn't about chasing trends. It's about getting ahead of the curve and backing the science that will deliver our future. Thanks for joining us, and if you're ready to take part in the deep tech revolution, scan the QR code or visit av.vc to connect with any member of our team. And as always, we will see you next time.